Well, you asked for it. It's time to rank every ride in Magic Kingdom from worst to best. Now, as always with any of my rankings, you don't have to agree with it. I totally understand if you think some rides should be higher than the other ones. But the important thing to remember here is, I'm right. If you have any disagreements though, leave them in the comments. Can't wait to see them and judge you just the same. Starting at number 23, we have the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. This ride is just a Dumbo ripoff, and to be honest, it's a travesty that a Magic Carpets of Aladdin ride is this ride. Like, this is our Aladdin ride. You could do so much with Magic Carpets, or in a roller coaster, in a screen ride. You could do so much with Aladdin, and this is what we get. It's smack dab in the middle of Adventureland, and it just bottlenecks everything as well. That space, I would love for that to just be open for people to walk through. That would be more valuable than whatever this ride is. Again, it's just a Dumbo knockoff. They're so much better. The coolest thing is the camel that spits at people. I think we could either move this to the side, get rid of the treehouse, because that's not a ride, so it's not on this list, but we all know about Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. It's pretty pointless. I want it just out of the way. It's fine, give the kids something to do, I understand, but it's a carnival ride that's a Dumbo knockoff anyway, that we have multiple of these in Magic Kingdom, as we're gonna get to. I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's the worst thing in Magic Kingdom when it comes to a ride. Number 22 is a classic Disney attraction, the teacups. I absolutely cannot stand the teacups. I don't get the point of it. I do get very sick when I even see somebody. You got people in there and I used to be able to do that. Cannot do it anymore. Absolutely messes with my head completely. I can handle Mission Space. Believe it or not, I can't handle the teacups. When I'm just on there and people go, it's crazy. The whole design of it, I don't get the fun in it. I just don't. I get it's a classic Disney attraction, whatever. A barf simulator, if you ask me. I can't deal with it. If it's a classic thing for you, cool. I think there's better classic Disney attractions. Number 22 for me. Number 21, Astro Orbiter, Teacups in the Sky. Now this is again another Dumbo knockoff, but at least this one is in the air. I've done Astro Orbiter during fireworks. It also has made me a little dizzy, but that was a cool experience. But outside of that, Astro Orbiter is not great. I mean, first of all, the line. You stand in this line inside Tomorrowland next to the People Mover, and then you have to go up this elevator to then get into line to get onto Astro Orbiter. And if you go during the day, it is so hot up there, you just get a sunburn. You get cool views, but I'd rather just get the views from the People Mover. I think those are better. Like I said, during fireworks is probably the best time, but it moves so fast you don't really get to enjoy it either. I think it's very overrated for that aspect. I don't think it's a good ride. Again, another ride that just goes up and down in a circle, a Dumbo knockoff. Another one, that's our second one. We got more to talk about, obviously. Don't love it. It's my number 21. Is the carousel. Listen, I understand a carousel, not made for me, made for kids. I'm sure kids love it. However, you can get these at malls now, at carnivals. These things just travel, they're everywhere. So I understand the carousel in Fantasyland, right with the Magic Kingdom, right with the castle backdrop. Great. Awesome. Sounds great. It's still, of all Magic Kingdom rides, it's got to be at the bottom of the list. There's nothing super special about it. It is a solid carousel, but you can do it anywhere at this point in time. So I understand the nostalgia maybe, and for kids, great. I just had to put this at the bottom of the list for the reason of you can just do that wherever. Number 19, Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Here we go. This is the third and last of rides that go up and down and spin in a circle. But Dumbo has to be number one because it's a classic. You know, classic Magic Kingdom attraction. It's on the ground. They have a fun queue where you don't have to wait and there's like a playground for kids. I think that's awesome. That's a different type of queue that I think works. Classic Disney attraction. Of the ones that go up and down, I think this is the best for the nostalgia factor. And again, you're not waiting and going up an elevator and getting burnt in the sun like Astro Orbiter. You're getting burnt from the sun down on the ground. But like I said, the indoor queue, I think really helps, elevates it. That's a really cool concept. Dumbo, to me, is my number 19. 18, an opening day attraction, the Tomorrowland Speedway. You walk by there, it just smells like a gas station, man. Listen, the Tomorrowland Speedway, so many better opportunities we could do here. I mean, everybody yells cars, but we're building cars over there. I think this could just go away and build 2 indoor attractions to get people out of the sun, to be honest. One for Tomorrowland, one for Fantasyland, back to back. Tomorrowland Speedway, though, opening day attraction. I respect the history there. I know it's fun for kids to get their license and everything like that. They shortened it with the new Tomorrowland thing. It's cool to do during fireworks for sure, too. I don't think it's anything super special. Again, it's not like, again, it's for kids and it's awesome for that reason. I'm sure some people really enjoy it. I feel bad for the cast members that work there because you are baking in the sun all day and just smelling up the gasoline. There's a lot better rides on this list. That's why it's down here towards the bottom. Number 17 is Barnstormer. Okay, this is probably the worst roller coaster in Disney World, and it's not its fault. This is a great first kids coaster. I can imagine there's a lot of young kids that just want to ride it over and over and over again. When it's late at night while the fireworks are going on, you can ride it over and over and over again. It does its job, it does its purpose. It was never going to be towards the top of this list, and that's okay. None of these really were made to be at the top of the list. Some of them are meant to be at the bottom, and that's fine. Something has to be down there. I think the Barnstormer, while I think a solid kid coaster for that, but it's never going to be any higher than that. I think that's understandable, right? Fair enough. Moving on to the next one. Up next, It's a Small World. This ride obviously gets a lot of flack, and the song, it could just be, the whole funny joke is being trapped on It's a Small World is like the worst thing that can happen to you in Disney World, and it might be. Classic attraction, fits in Fantasyland. The one thing I would say is I would move this to the World Showcase. I think it could fit there, and I would build a Tangle attraction there. I think that would be awesome. But Small World is solid. Again, that classic nostalgic feel. Classic Disney ride. It is never going to wow you. It just feels like you're at Disney World. Again, I think it's just right there. It's exactly where it should be on everybody's rankings. I know some people probably put it dead last, which I don't think is fair just because of the song and the annoying thing. But I like Small World from a classic Disney and nostalgia feeling. Number 15 is The Little Mermaid in Fantasyland. I'm very hard on this attraction. I very much am. I think it could have been so much better. I think the queue is very solid. I think the entrance is very solid. I love that area of Fantasyland where it's at, especially later at night when it kind of calms down. There's usually not a ton of people back there. Love that area. I just think we could have done so much better for a dark ride for Little Mermaid. I mean, when you ride in there, I call it the fish warehouse. When you get to that point where, Ariel's dancing like this, fish are hanging from wires you can see all that. It just looks like a warehouse with fish in it. And Ursula's great. It's a great animatronic. I just feel like from a Little Mermaid dark ride, we could have gotten so much better. So I think it's solid. It's a dark ride, and it's good. It could have been great, and it could have been so much better. So I'm putting this at this point on the list. Number 14 on my list is the Carousel of Progress. And now listen, this is a great spot to get out of the sun for like 20-some minutes. I love the Carousel of Progress, again, from a nostalgic classic feel. I'm very excited for the enhancements it's getting. One, the Walt Disney animatronic coming into it. That's going to be awesome. Two, any of the enhancements that it's getting, I think, are going to be really good addition. It's a little dated, and I think it needs some work done, which it's getting. So because it's dated, it falls to this point on my list. I think it could get upgraded once we get the Walt Disney animatronic and we get some updated scenes here. So I'm excited for the future of it, but for right now, it sits in the middle of my list. Number 13 is the Railroad. Now, the Railroad has been up and down, under construction, closed due to construction with TRON and Tiana's and things like that, and going on. And it's about to be closed again for the construction of Cars in Villains Land and only go back and forth. The Railroad here in Disney World is more of a means of transportation. While in Disneyland, if you've ever been there, it's more of an attraction. There's more going on there. There's so much they could add to the Railroad along more scenes, more things going on to make it more of an attraction. Obviously, the Railroad is significant to Magic Kingdom and to Walt Disney. And I think there's so much left on the table with the Railroad. It's still very nice to hop on there, have a nice peaceful, trip around Magic Kingdom. But we're going to be blocked out from being able to do a full round trip for a couple years starting soon because of construction. So once that's all said and done, I really hope they make additions to this because there's so much potential for the Railroad and it's nice to have a relaxing trip. I just wish they would make it more into like an attraction than transportation. But it does count as an attraction and it's nice and peaceful and it means a lot to have that around Magic Kingdom and to see those things. Never usually waiting too long. It's solid, but there's so much left on the table. Number 12 is Winnie the Pooh. Now, I love Winnie the Pooh. It's a fun dark ride. It's a classic Disney ride to have there in Magic Kingdom in Fantasyland. I think it's awesome, feeling like you're in a storybook. I think it's very, very solid. There's no wow moments in this. There's nothing that's crazy. It's been the same for a while now, as these new attractions open. Obviously, they're going to jump Winnie the Pooh, but it's a classic ride. You usually don't have to wait a super long time. It's fun to do. I usually do it later at night when the fireworks or after fireworks where there's not too long of a line. It's a very solid dark ride. It does its job and is a great place for Fantasyland. That's why it's right here. 11 is Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Now, as of this video, Buzz Lightyear is closed for construction and won't open until next year in 2026. I'm super excited for the additions here. New seats, new guns, they're adding a new animatronic. That was desperately needed in this ride and has already pushed it up the list. It was in much need of some TLC and it's finally getting that and I love that. There was rumors, or not rumors, but more speculation. Could it go away? Could they add something new here because of Toy Story Land and Hollywood Studios? But I think it fits into Tomorrowland. I think it's fun. It's a classic feel of Tomorrowland. The one in Disneyland really was a lot better than the one in Disney World, a lot because of the seats and the guns. And I'm excited for these new additions coming to that, and I think it's going to bring its way back to potentially even a top 10 attraction here. I'm putting it at number 11 for now until I finally get on it. I'm excited for what we're going to see when this opens next year. Here's my top 10, and really I don't think any of the ones I just named should really be in the top 10. I think these are the clear-cut top 10. And starting at 10 is Peter Pan's Flight, a classic Disney dark ride. If you ask my dad, he's going to tell you it's probably higher on this list. I love Peter Pan's Flight. The queue is very good for this ride, and the ride itself is just classic Disney dark ride, one of the best. It's awesome. It's just too short. It's just too short. It's just too dated inside. I wish there were some more upgrades in there. Obviously, they can't really expand on the ride, but I think it's just too short for the line it gets. Still a great Disney attraction. It's in the top 10. It's just classic Disney, and that's what's awesome about the Magic Kingdom. That's what's awesome about Disneyland, but in Magic Kingdom specifically, it's great to have some of that classic Disney there with all the new additions. It's just too short for the line it gives. That's why it's at number 10. And a lot of people say I shouldn't judge it online. I think that's a big factor in the enjoyment of rides. If I wait 60 minutes for this, greatly affects how I feel about Peter Pan's Flight than if I waited 15. Right? You know what I'm saying? So people always say just judge the ride, don't judge it on how long you have to wait. But I think we need to take an average wait. Obviously, if you wait 120 minutes for Winnie the Pooh, that's not the average thing. But we all kind of know, if you're a frequent visitor to Disney World, what the average wait time is. I think that plays a part into the ride experience. I really do. Number 9 is Jungle Cruise. Now, Jungle Cruise is so difficult to rank because I believe if you get a very good skipper, it could elevate into your top 5 attractions. I think that experience is awesome. If you get a bad skipper, and I don't want to say bad skipper, just one that maybe the humor, the way they deliver doesn't hit, or it's just like, you know, every skipper's not going to be perfect, or it just might not be for you. If you get something like that, it could fall out of your top 10. So I think this is a good place to put it at number 9. I enjoy the Jungle Cruise. I enjoy the, you know, dad humor and the humor of it all. I really do. It's a classic Disney ride, so there's nostalgia there. Very solid. The queue, again, the line for it all, like how long it takes, can be a pain because the loading process is kind of difficult with the way they load people in the boats. I think it's perfect at number 9 for me. If you have it higher, I could understand, but also if you have it lower, I could understand. I think it depends on each person's experience here. Number 8 is the People Mover. Now, the People Mover is one of my favorite rides. I probably do it every single time I'm in Magic Kingdom because the wait time's usually not typically long. It's longer. It used to always be walk-on. Now it's a bit longer. Sometimes it has 10, 15. I've even seen 20-minute waits for the People Mover. But it's a nice, relaxing ride. Usually, especially later at night, you can do it again and again if you like to. Doing it during fireworks is awesome. It's just nice. It's cool. I wish every single park and every single land had a People Mover. I get why it makes sense in Tomorrowland, but it's just cool to explore the land and people watch in that way. People say it's an underrated ride. I don't think it's really underrated anymore. It used to be a lot more underrated. Everybody kind of loves the People Mover now, especially Disney veterans and locals. Everybody loves the People Mover. It gets a ton of love. Like I said, it's getting a longer line, but I think it's just awesome. It's such a unique attraction to go through attractions like that, whether it be Space Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, to go around a land like that. It's just so unique and it's so cool, and it definitely has that. When you're riding it, if you've ever had that experience, and if you haven't, I recommend doing it during fireworks, to just sit back, watch, hear the fireworks, hear the land, hear them, the fireworks booming in the sky, but then seeing them, it's one of those like, wow, we're really in Disney moments. So I think it's really cool, especially in the beginning or end of trips if you're there, to really do it during fireworks. If you're not watching the show, if you've already seen it, definitely watch Happily Ever After. But I think it's such a cool and unique ride to Magic Kingdom and that feel. And it's one of those things we have over Disneyland, which definitely I hold tight to. Number 7 is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Now, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is frequently called one of the most overrated rides in Disney World, and that's because of the long line it gathers. Now, with TRON opening to not a virtual queue, it's helped it a little bit, but it still obviously gets a very long line because it's a ride everybody can do. It's a step up from the Barnstormer, but still pretty much most kids, I believe, can do it. And I think it's a fun time. It is. It combines dark ride and coaster very well. The way you go around Fantasyland and watching it zoom by, it fits very well. It just gets a bad rap because of the line. If this ride consistently had a 30-minute wait, it'd be everybody's favorite. It'd be so cool because it combines that classic but also new age Disney very well. It's very smooth still. It's been open for a while now. It's very smooth. I love Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I just don't get to do it enough because of the line. Being a local, you just don't wait as much and stuff like that. But I think it's very good, overhated in my opinion. The queue is cool. The ride itself is very good. The dark ride to coaster element is very good. Gets too much hate in my opinion, and it's just because it has a long line. It's my number 7. Speaking of another ride that gets too much hate is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Now, I will be the first to tell you, Tiana's Bayou Adventure could have been a lot better. If you watch the POVs of the Disneyland version, it is very clear this ride was made for Disneyland and then kind of fit into Disney World. There's a lot of dead space in this one right here, and the animatronics are having issues. They don't always work, and that's kind of frustrating for a quote-unquote new ride. But Tiana's is still a great ride. The layout of the log flume in Disney World, whether it was Splash Mountain or Tiana's, is just awesome. It's an awesome feel in there. I think once Cars and Villains is open, Big Thunder's back open, that whole section of the park is just going to be unbelievable. Between Villains, Cars, Big Thunder, Haunted Mansion, Tiana's, it's going to be great, that side of the park. It's going to be crazy, which means I think they need a Tomorrowland refurb, but that's an idea for another video. I think Tiana's definitely gets over hate because you have so many people who are fans of Splash Mountain, who have so many memories of Splash Mountain. They didn't even give Tiana's a chance. And granted, there is some dead space. The story could have been better. They could have made a better ride. I compare it in baseball terms if you're a fan. They really needed to hit a home run with this attraction, and they hit a double. It's solid, very good. It's just not what it needed to be. Didn't get the true love I think it deserved. I think it was designed for, and again, I think it was designed for Disneyland and then fitted to Magic Kingdom, which hurts it a little bit. Reason though, it falls at my number 6. Number 5 is Space Mountain. Now, I'm gonna be honest, there's probably a lot of nostalgia here for me because Space Mountain is in rough shape. You talk about a ride that needs a refurb, it's this. Maybe a retracking, a whole refurb, I don't know. It needs something. Still though, it's just, when you're on the ride, you just feel like you're in Disney World. Space Mountain's awesome, from the queue and the queue music to right as you're about to board to getting into the uncomfortable seats. It's a long, I feel like I'm also talking negative about it, but talking about the love. There is a lot of nostalgia here is what I'm trying to make as a point, but it's a long coaster. It's a fun coaster. Got a good amount of thrills. That third drop is like, whoa, it gets me every time. I love Space Mountain. But I can understand why it's lower on your list because it is rough. It's in rough shape. It desperately needs a refurb. But you want to talk about classic Disney. You want to talk about nostalgia. You want to talk about a long, fun, thrilling ride. That is Space Mountain. It's right there. The one in Disneyland is so much better, but I could say that about a lot of rides. I still love it. It's my number 5. Number 4 is TRON Lightcycle Run. The only negative you can say about this ride is it is a little bit too short. And I can agree with that, but the more I've done it, the more I've come around to that too. It's so much fun, so unique, so thrilling, so cool. Like coming outside, even walking up to it with the grid and the lights, especially at night. They're doing the overlay for the new TRON movie where there's some red into it now. Very, very cool. I hope they continue to do more of that in different colors. It'd be cool if every vehicle, did a different color at one point. But it's so much fun, and it really is cool. It's such a unique ride experience. Again, the only negative thing you can say is that it's short, and then people will continue to bring up about how long it took to make. Really, that just had to do with the COVID pandemic and opening Guardians. It got delayed so much because of that. Really wasn't the ride's fault there. But what you want to talk about now, you could say it is a little short. I wish it was a little bit longer, but it's so cool. It's such a cool ride. There's a reason it has the longest wait time now. It's an awesome roller coaster. It's an awesome attraction. Number 3 is Big Thunder Mountain. Another ride that's down and not opening until 2026, but I'm very excited for it to get a whole retracking and some set enhancements because this is another classic Disney feel. That's obviously the case with Magic Kingdom, as a lot of these are classic Disney rides, and this delivers on that. Still think it has some thrill and some speed to it. It tells a very good story. You usually, especially depending on the time of day, you can time it where you can do it back to back multiple times in a row, only waiting like 5 minutes and you're just kind of walking through the queue again. We've done that plenty of times. I just think it's awesome Disney. It's probably not as good of a coaster as TRON, but it tells so much of a better story. Again, it's a longer ride experience, one of the longest there. It has a good level of speed, but something everybody can do. To me, this is a perfect Magic Kingdom roller coaster. Number 2 is Pirates of the Caribbean. I just did a thing on my TikTok about the best ride queues. Put Pirates of the Caribbean on there, but I have so many core memories of this. You talk about after fireworks when it's a 5-minute wait. Everybody knows that feeling late at night when it's a 5-minute wait. You're walking through, you hear the Pirates music, you're walking through the queue, you smell the Pirates water, and then you just get an awesome dark ride. That is a long dark ride. It tells an awesome story. Classic Disney. It's just such a feel-good ride. Never met anybody to get off and be like, oh man, that ride stinks. Everybody loves this ride. It's in everybody's top 5, top 10 for Magic Kingdom. It's so good. the whole thing. It inspired one of the greatest movie franchises Disney's ever made. Great ride all around. I don't really have much negative to say, except I think they also could have made this longer. It's a great length too. I just wish it was to the length of Disneyland's. That's just me being greedy. It's awesome. It's my number 2. Only be one number 1, and that's Haunted Mansion. It is the second best dark ride Disney has ever created, and it was number 1 for most of their history. It wasn't until recently Rise of the Resistance, to me, is the better dark ride than Haunted Mansion, which is unfair to Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion's been around for how long? Of course something was going to eventually unseat it, and it took all the way till Rise of the Resistance to me to truly do that. Haunted Mansion is iconic. Iconic Disney. This is just such a fun ride. It used to scare me as a kid. It's great now. Tells an unbelievable story. I mean, it's an amazing story, and there's like Easter eggs in there. They've tried to make how many movies to replicate it, and I just don't think it hits like the ride. It is a great dark ride. I do it almost every time I'm in Magic Kingdom, regardless of the wait. I'll wait 45 minutes for this ride because it's an experience. It's just so great. It is classic Disney. I obviously love Halloween and everything like that. I think that pushes it a little bit to the bias, but I just think it's such a perfect Disney dark ride. To a T. Everything. Fun sets and scenes. It's everything you want, and you never have to wait that long for it. It's so good. To me, this is easily the best in Magic Kingdom. Let me know what your list is. Let me know what your top 5 is in Magic Kingdom. I think I got the top 10 very well, and I think everything outside of that is meant to be outside of that. Of course, those weren't going to be top 10, but let me know your list. And again, like I said, I'm going to judge it all the same. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Sunday.